Yeah, 11 minutes, that should be enough time to get us there. And the whole country's going to the dogs, basically. We've got this energy crisis where we have the most gas in the world, and we're selling it to spot markets, and we don't have a moratorium, except for in Western Australia, to hold the gas for the domestic market. Overseas people think we're crazy. You know, as I said, it's going to get so bad that we'll be putting some of these politicians up against the wall, and we'll be shooting them in the ball sack rather than the head, because we definitely want to make sure that they suffer like we're suffering. Your parents, your grandparents, they can't put the bloody heater on in the winter. People are dying of cold, in a first world country. And then, of course, they want to build new coal-fired power stations. The companies, who are actually the private companies now, because they've been sold off, don't want to build new ones. They don't want to, because they see no future in it, and they don't want to keep the old ones running for longer. And they're sort of saying, pushing back on donations of taxpayers' money of $1 billion, because they said, no, it's just too much work, for an extra 5 years or so. And it's all because Chris Ullman, who's now he's left the ABC. I think they got a shot of him. I think we all figured out he pulled the pin on Kevin Rudd, and we had that Toomey woman from New South Wales, who public servant without fear or favour. Took about 3 years to stand up and say, well, Kevin Rudd didn't have to go if he didn't want to go by law. Bit late, Miss Toomey. You had one job, and that was your job, and you failed in spades. Yeah. I wouldn't even give her the time of day. I wouldn't even give Chris Ullman the time of day. You came to my front door, I'd slam the door in his face. Wouldn't even give him the time of day. Too eager to rush off and get the glory of a story. Yeah, glory of a story. And and there's all these stories about he was mentally disranged or something, and they've got no bloody evidence whatsoever. Oh, some little clip about a video, getting a little bit angry about language. He's an expert in Chinese language, and he impresses them with the standard of his Chinese. I'm thinking, well, he must have got angry for a reason, because other people writing the stuff weren't up to his level or something. Again, it's just all a load of bollocks. And of course we've got Dr. No, Tony Abbott, Dr. No. He's almost got the bloody Dr. No plastic bubble over his head at the moment, living in the 1950s, coal is king, and we've got this bloody Minerals Council. Even the shareholders are now have told BHP to get rid of this bloody Minerals Council. I mean, when the shareholders, the so-called little mum and dad investors, really? What's going on with this stuff with the mum and dad investors? So they're being billed on one side, so they're getting these big electricity bills, but if you're a shareholder, sure, you get a dividend that actually counteracts the high. In other words, if you're invested in these bloody energy companies that are sending out these large bills, surely you're going to get a dividend which is going to cancel out your bill, isn't it? Or it's not actually happening. And in other words, you're getting nowhere fast, basically. Yeah. Well, that's the Stringy Bark track up there, and there's a noticeable drop in temperature here, fellas. It feels I wouldn't say it's quite 17, I'd say it's about 18 degrees now, so it's dropped down a few degrees in temperature, and it gets a lot cooler in there too. So we're just going to wander over here, and I'll probably have to start a new clip from the rise up here, just so we can actually upload it and all that to the computer and take some screenshots. If it gets too long, won't be able to do that, so we'll just start a new clip from Vista Point here, and we'll take you to this area in here and hopefully show you this, what I think is a hidden dam we didn't even know was there last year. Well, it's been there for years, but it's been there since it was built, probably, but okay, probably from here. Okay.